Shalom. Shalom. Oh, hold on a minute. All right. Now we're back at it. First and foremost, I want to say, Kal halala Yahweh ba'Hashem Yahushai ba'Hashem Ruach giving all honors, praise, and glory to the Most High in the name of His Son and in the Holy Spirit. Not really got anything, so it's through the power. I actually do. I want to go through the power of the Spirit, though. I got books and books. I got books and books of notes. I got something to bring out. It's not about bringing out. It's interesting because it's like when you get a taste of something really good, you want to go after it, and you want to continuously keep that taste in your mouth because it's a good thing. Oh yeah, I love that. Like people that like to chew gum. Oh, I love that minty gum. I like the fruity gum. I like the spearmint gum. You know, I like the different types of flavors, but I want to keep that nice taste in my mouth. And today, I want to keep that nice taste in my mouth too. But I like the taste of the scriptures. I like the way they taste. I like the way they sound. I like the way they feel. And so, let's go to 2 Timothy. If I seem like I'm all over the place, it's because I probably am. I've had a long day. So, let's do it. We're going to go to 2 Timothy. We're reading chapter 2. We're going to go as far as we can, starting from the top. Thou, therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. You know what? You know something I've never done? I've never looked up the definition of grace. Let's find out. Let's just find out. We all know what grace is, but let's find out. What is the biblical definition of grace? Grace is the basis for the Israelite faith. We believe we are saved by faith through grace. So, here we go. This is what grace actually means. God's grace is usually defined as undeserved favor. Undeserved favor. So, let me give you an example. The electric company says your bill's due on the 1st, but they're going to give you a 10-day grace period to pay your bill. Okay? So you got that 10 days. All right. Grace cannot be earned. It is something that is freely given from Yahweh, ba'Hashem Yahushai. So we count on Yahweh's grace and the bridge He built in our relationship with Him. That's probably not part of the definition. But we do count on Yahweh's grace. As Israelites, and you know, I really hate saying the word Israelite because it doesn't line up with Yasha Allah. Yah, He, Shah, is Allah, God-like power. Yasha Allah. He is a God-like power. Now that is something I can deal with. So, let's read it again. Thou, therefore, my son, be strong in the grace, in the undeserved favor. Be strong in your undeserved favor that is in Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Okay? It actually says grace that is in Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. But verse 2, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also. What did it say? What you heard from me, I want you to tell to other people. We got to look it up. The same commit thou. So, what does it mean to commit? What's the biblical definition of commit? To roll. It literally means to roll. Rolling something to the Lord. The idea is completely giving something over to Yahweh while depending on Him. Ooh. So, when you commit, this is perfect. This is what we needed to hear right here. This is exactly what we were looking for. So let me read it. And the things that thou hast heard of me, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same when completely giving something over to Yahweh while depending on Him. So completely giving your faith, that's why it uses faith in the next word, over to Yahweh pretty much. So the same commit thou to faithful men. So give your faith over to faithful men, and what are they going to do? Who shall be able to teach others also. So that goes right in. So the faith of the power of the Spirit, you know that He's dealing with you. He's literally telling you that teach the faithful men, the other prophets that would be considered disciples at this time, students, who shall be able to teach others also. So it's just beautiful how everything works together. It's a beautiful thing. Let me keep going though, because I love that. Let me read that definition just one more time. To commit is to completely give something over to Yahweh while depending on Him. So in other words, when you got everything I do, I give over to the Most High. There's nothing I can't do. I can't do anything without Him is what I'm trying to say. And if I try to, it will fail. I'm Yasha Allah. I know that if I try to do something without my Father, I will fail. My job that I've been sent back here to do is to teach you the same. Let me keep going. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. Did you hear what it said? Any man that's doing the Most High's work has nothing to do with this worldliness. Yes, I shall get a precept finally. Let's get one. Romans chapter 8. Ooh, KJV. You already know. If you do any studying at all, you already know what Romans chapter 8 is talking about, which is really, to me, from my word we used to say, that's really cool. That would be really cool that you knew that. So, I don't know what people say anymore these days. I'm getting older, but in my time era, it's really cool when I can tell you guys a verse or a chapter and you already know what it's going to get into. So we're going to go ahead and go to Romans 8 and 5. For they that are after the flesh do mind things of the flesh, but they that are after the Spirit, things of the Spirit. To be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Life and peace. So a man that warreth is spiritually minded. A carnal man, you know what a carnal man is going to do? He that taketh his hands off the plow. What chapter and verse? This is what a carnal man is going to do. Let's get it. Luke chapter 9 verse 62, King James Version. And Yahushua said unto him, no man having put his hand on the plow looking back is fit for the kingdom of heaven. So, let's read it again. Romans 8 and 5. For they that are after the flesh do mind things of the flesh. Do you see that? So, they'll take their hands off the plow. They'll look back. But a man that warreth, no. A man that's in the works of God, no, absolutely not. He's going to stand strong. And I can prove that. All we have to do is go back to verse 1. Therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Yahushua HaMashiach. So, verse 5. And if any man also strive for masteries, let him... Oh man, I got another precept in my mind. I got another precept real quick. Revelation chapter 11, KJV. I want to see if it lines up. I just want to see if it lines up. Let me read verse 4 again. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life. This life. What did the Most High say? Oh, I'm going to come back to this. This is not our rest, right? But he also said that this is not my kingdom. How did he say that? That's what it is. John 18 and 36. KJV. Yahushua answered, my kingdom is not of this world. That's what I was looking for. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life. This world, where we live, this place is doomed. I already told you that. That he may please himself, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. So what are we doing? We're doing the works to please our Father. We're doing the work specifically to please our Father and show him that we are worthy of the kingdom. Let me read it again, because I didn't read the whole verse. John 18 and 36. And Yahushua answered, my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight that I should not be delivered to the Jews? Ooh. Now, is this my kingdom? Not from hence. Ooh. He said, if this were my kingdom, my servants would whoop your ass. Because you can't beat us. He's letting you think that you can beat us. He's building you up right now. Okay, now let's go back. Let's go back. I just wanted to show you that because this kingdom is not My kingdom is not of this world. So let's go back to Revelation now, because that's what I wanted to bring out. Revelation chapter 11, and King James Version. And so I know I'm taking my time on this. I'm taking my time. So this is the part where so the wareth part is what I want to get into. I know I'm at verse 4. I'm supposed to. That's why I said I'm going to see how far I can get into this class. But when he's talking about wareth, it's a spiritual warfare. It's a spiritual warfare, and the reason why we know that we're in the good fight right now and preaching the real gospel, they're literally slandering us on mainstream TV. They slander us. Clearly, I bring my whole family out here right now. My wife, my kids, everybody. We're all Israelites. We're all Israelites. But when you see the diversity of color, you're gonna sit there and think to your mind how this is it's because you haven't been woke up yet. And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So you got to get your mind right by studying. But the point is that a man that warreth is in a spiritual warfare. And they're scared of us right now in this spiritual warfare. And I can prove that too. That's why I want to bring out Revelation chapter 11. And it's because 11 and 11. Let me just read it. And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of Yahweh entered into them, and they stood upon their feet. That's us speaking the truth, going out to the highways and the hedges and preaching to the wind. That's the war. That's the man that warreth at this time. So we can what? What can we do? So we can he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. So we are trying to please Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai for choosing us to have the Ruach HaKodesh to go out in the streets. And what happened? After the 3 days and a half, the Spirit of Yahweh entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. So they see us. Do you know that right now that they are making it illegal for us to teach the scriptures, and they're trying to say it's anti-Shemitic? So you gotta understand, the famine of the word, it's almost here. I hope you guys were taking notes, because when they shut this YouTube down, you're never going to be able to refer back to all these notes with your family. You're never going to be able to go back in and say, oh yeah, this, that, and the third. You're going to have to review. That's when they say, go to the store and get your own oil, for I only have enough oil for myself. You guys are going to find out. You don't even know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this class ain't for you. You need to leave a comment and ask some questions, or find somebody that's willing to teach you the very, very basics. In fact, read the wise versions and the foolish versions with the oil. Read about them. All right, let's go back into 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 5. And if a man also strive for masteries, yet is not crowned, except for he strive lawfully. So, if you're striving for masteries, in other words, if you are trying to learn these scriptures and be able to teach your brothers and sisters because that's the only masteries we have in this current kingdom, is being able, and that's the only thing we should know. That's the only thing Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai taught us, was this book. So that's all we need to worry about. So when you're striving for masteries, it's clearly the book. What else did he teach us? Think about it like that. I mean, you can be carnal and worldly and say, oh yeah, well that can deal with anything. You're right. You're absolutely right. But this book is only dealing with Israel. So when you say that, we can take it that way, but we also know that when it says lawfully, it's talking about within the laws of the book. You guys deal lawfully within the laws of your Gregorian, draconian, beast system, just on a whole different, off the chain level. I don't want to go too far because I like my channel, so I'm just going to stop with that. But anyway, let me say it again. If a man also strive for masteries, yet he is not crowned, except he strive lawfully. If you're not crowned, it means that you are not in the 100% truth. And how do people get famous when they're not in the 100% truth? They take what's called a deal from the oppressor. And the oppressor has everything. This is his world. We live in his world. So, slack it. We live in his world. So he can literally, you want $1 million, $100 million, that ain't shit to these guys. They have $150 trillion. So $100 million is like $1,000 to us. Not even like that. It's more like $100 to. It's more like, let's say, to a person that doesn't have very much, it's like $10 to one of these elites to give $100 million out. So, and it even tells you in the scripture. I can never find the verse either. It tells you that don't think just because you have a great financial increase that it's a blessing from Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. Because when you go into most of these camps and you look into their great financial blessing, you'll realize it wasn't given to them by Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. It wasn't some great miracle that they got the money. No, they signed a deal with the government saying, we'll do what you say. It's that simple. I want the money. I'll do what you say. They don't start off that way, though. That's the crazy part. They start off like not bothering you, but then they give you a bunch, and then they come back and say, when you got a lot, and say, hey, I'm going to take all this shit away if you don't do what I say. That's how they hook you. They hook you in, and they just even real slow. Once they get up to you, they go, I got you. You see, I'm holding you. You're on the hook, and you can't get off. But that's another story and a different lesson. But anyway, if any man strive for masteries and yet is not crowned, like I said, don't think that just because you have a bunch, if you have $100 million or $150 million, you pay yourself millions of dollars, you're not. That's not a crown. A crown is knowledge. The crown is knowing the truth. It's that simple. It's that simple. Except he strive lawfully. How are you going to get the truth? Except you strive lawfully. And you know what's crazy? Most of these camps, and all of them, they all started off in the truth. But money will choke the word out of you, and I can prove that too. It's in the cares of man and the riches of the world choke the word out of you. What chapter and verse? It's Mark. Mark, I knew it, 9 and 14. Okay. So, 4:19. Sorry, 4:19. So let's start at 15, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to read 15, and then I'm going to jump up to 19. Even though I could read all the way through, it doesn't make a difference. I'm just going to stick to the point because I got a lot I want to say. And these are they by the wayside where the word is sown, but when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts. So how does he do it? Let's jump up to verse 19. Verse 19, the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches and the lust of other things entering in choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful. Do you see how that? Let me go backwards. Let me go backwards a little bit. Let's read 17. They have no root. I put the word they. It says and have no root, but it's talking about these. It's actually talking about us. I'm only talking to Israel. If you're outside of Israel, go ahead and Yasha Allah. If you're outside of Yasha Allah and you don't know what that means, it's time for you to leave my channel. And if you don't leave, then all praises to Yahweh Hashem Shai. I pray that you're one of the Israelites and you need to do your research. Do your research. So, I'm going to jump backwards a little bit. Mark 4 and go to 17. And have no root in themselves, and so endure but for a time. Afterward, when affliction or persecution ariseth for the word's sake, immediately they are offended. Immediately they are offended. So this is what happens when Satan comes in immediately. But the point is, like I told you, the lust of things entering in choke the word, and the deceitfulness of riches. They literally make you not want to keep the truth. So, let's move on. The husbandman that laboreth must be first partaker of the fruits. You better be an Israelite or you definitely ain't going to make it. Keep going. Consider what I say, and the Lord giveth the understanding in all things. So what did he say? He said, consider what I say. What did he say? Well, let's go back a little bit. He said to commit. Not that. That's a trigger word right there, right? He said warreth. Don't entangle yourself with the affairs of life. If you do these things, the Lord giveth thee understanding in all things. So the war is the spiritual warfare. Sticking to the laws, the statutes within the laws, and the direct commands according to your knowledge and wisdom, according to your knowledge, according to your knowledge. But also, there's one thing that I always forget to mention: faith. The Most High will put faith in you to have strength to do these things. That's how you're going to know who the Israelites are and who's not an Israelite in the end. Because the Israelites are going to have faith. And it's funny because when the going gets tough, Edomites commit suicide. Israelite, will the tough get going? When the going gets rough, hey, the rough get going. Or however the song goes. All I know is that our people, we have faith that something better is going to come up. We've been through this before. He's judged us multiple times. But when you're not an Israelite, you get judged once. Just like you don't even get to judgment. You get to the thought of judgment and try and jump off a cliff. But okay, let me get back into it. Verse 8. 2 Timothy, we're still in 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 8. Remember that Yahweh Shai HaMashiach of the seed of David was raised from the dead according to my gospel. And we know the gospel is the good news and also the prophecies. Wherein I suffered trouble as an evildoer, even unto bonds. But the word of Yahweh is not bound. It's how would you say it? He gives the word to the children of Israel liberally. In other words, freely. It's not bound. It's not hidden from you. So you don't need to go down to the $150 million mega super camp and pay for a precept package. You could just read it for yourself. If you don't understand it, you might as well just go back to what you were doing. If you still want to know it and you don't understand it, then you need to study more on the Most High's dealing with you. Then over a period of time, you will begin to understand, and you will start doing certain things in your life differently. People are like that. All right. Let's keep going. Wherein I suffer trouble as an evildoer, even unto bonds, but the word of Yahweh is not bound. The word even means indeed. Bonds means into like jail. So I suffer as an evildoer, indeed unto a place like a jail. But the word of Yahweh shall never be imprisoned. How's that? So I suffer, let me try again. I'm going to use the word prison now. Wherein I suffer trouble as an evildoer, indeed unto prison. But the word of Yahweh is not in prison. Do you know what they're getting ready to do? What is it? S686, where it becomes illegal to be anti-Shemitic, like I said earlier, and you get 20 years in prison if or $1 million fines. So in other words, teaching the truth is going to become illegal pretty soon. Which also, there's the scriptures for that too. I mean, but anyway, let's not go too far off. Let's go ahead and jump over to verse 10. Wherefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in Yahushua HaMashiach with eternal glory. Happiness. We want to obtain the kingdom. This is all this, everything, all this, this whole ministry right now of the camps. Everybody else has been telling you to give money and sow a seed. If you watch my classes till then, you'll know I don't take money from people. I'm going to put it up. I'll prove it. I will not take anybody's money. The Most High's given me everything without having any money. I'm broke. I live week to week. I don't have shit. All this stuff I built myself with these hands. I will minister to my necessity with these hands and for my brothers. Didn't Paul say that? Well, I live by that. I don't need nobody's nothing. The Most High will provide for me. The Most High Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai will provide for me. So, verse 10 again. Therefore, I will endure all things. Also, I will obtain the salvation which is in Yahweh Shai HaMashiach with eternal, everlasting, never-ending glory. Let's keep going. It is a faithful saying, for if we be dead with him, we shall also live with him. Which takes you right back to Revelation chapter 11 and verse 11. What did it say? And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh entered into them, and they stood on their feet. So we were dead with him, and now we're alive with him. That's why we're teaching. See, when it's talking about the 3.5 days and being dead, it's talking about being dead in the spirit for 350 years of hardcore bondage. That's been over now for almost 60 years. And yes, they still hanging us from trees. They're still dragging us behind horses. Nowadays they have cars. They can drag us behind cars. They still light us on fire. They still shoot us to death. Nothing's changed. You guys think it's all good until you can turn on the TV and the internet. That's why the guy that invented the TV didn't want to produce it. He was like, oh, whoa. They're showing everything. So, after the 3.5 days, the Spirit of Yahweh, the Spirit of life, eternal life, from Yahweh entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and a great fear fell upon them which saw them. Why did I read it again? Because we're teaching now. We're on our feet again. We were dead in the Spirit, and now we're living in the Spirit with Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. He is the one that said that he will put the Ruach Kadash on us. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let me read 11 again, though. It is a faithful saying for it. If we be dead with him, we shall also live with him. And right now, it's like we're at the same time dead with him too. You know why? Because everybody tells us we're not Israel. Everybody tells us that our God, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Waharakwa Kadash is all one person. All three of those names I just said are actually one person, is what they tell you in the Christian church. And I used to have watch this. A picture of Jesus. I mean, this is what they tell us who our God is. Right? Which one of those is ours? They all look like Edomites to me. Just docile, soft, as a pillow, pink like sweet and low Edomites. But then they make the devil, they try to make him look like a nigga. So you got to realize, wow, this is what they want us to worship. So, if we suffer, we shall also reign with him. Let me go back to 11 again. It is a faithful saying, for if we be dead with him, we shall also live with him. So how is it, this is if this is what you worship, you're in death. Now, why I say that we were dead with him and then we rose up and now we're alive with him, because every single Israelite, or AKA the better name, Yasha Allah, has started with that depiction to be in Christianity. That's where it all starts. Even the Muslims will show you a white Jesus and say and be like, that's Christianity, and they'll tell you Christianity ain't no good, of course. But nowadays everybody's all jollying together, so keep that in mind. So let's keep going though. If we suffer, we shall also reign with him. This is verse 12. If we suffer, that goes into the $100 million camp too. If you're suffering, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, that also goes into the $150 million camp too. Denying his name and his son's name is denying him. Oh no, we got the name, but you won't teach it. Because of that 501c3 doesn't allow you to teach the truth like that. That's why I always hear Alazar saying Jesus Christ all of a sudden. We must have got some more money. If we deny him, he will also deny us. So you go ahead and call him parquet butter. You go ahead and call him anything you want. Go ahead and call him most high priceless. I'm going to tell you what though. I'm going to stick to the facts. His name is Yahweh. Bahashim means in the name of who? Yahweh Shai. So how do we get to so-called God? Through his son. So Yahweh through his son Yahweh Shai, and the Waha Holy Spirit, Ruach Kadash. You guys just don't know anything. You don't study. And in certain camps, they tell you, oh, you studying too much. You going into the Hebrew, that's not even established. There is no Hebrew. Nobody knows what the Hebrew says. We never even got those pronunciations. But we got every other language. I mean, you do all the other languages and break those down, but when it comes to the Lashon Kadash or the Paleo Hebrew, all of a sudden, we can't depict that, which is a lie. They did it hundreds of years ago already. 100 years ago already, at least. So that's all a lie. So let's just keep going. Let's move on. Let's move on. So if we suffer, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he also will deny us. If we believe not, yet he abideth faithful, he cannot deny himself. Keep going. Hold on. Let me read that again. If we believe not, yet he abideth faithful. So he's sitting there with you. That's your grace period. There's your grace. Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace. If he's sitting there with you and you're denying him, he's going to deny you. But if we believe not, yet he abideth faithful, he cannot deny himself. He's blameless. Blameless. In fact, let me look this up. 1 Corinthians KJV. Well, that doesn't match up, but it might later, so I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna leave right there. Let me read it again. If we suffer, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he also will deny us. And how do we deny him? By taking our hands off the plow. I already told you. By going back to worldliness. He told us to teach. He said to teach the children of Israel. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. He sent prophets out to teach the word, to wake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So let's read verse 14. Of these things, put them in remembrance, charging them before the Lord, Yahweh, that they strive not about words to no profit, but to the subverting of the hearts. Ooh, another perfect word to look up. So what is he saying? To preach the word to no profit, but to the subverting of hearts. So when you subvert somebody's heart, you overturn it. But what does it mean to overturn? To turn something around. So you remove that stony heart and you start to begin to put them in order to receive a fleshly heart at the correct time. All right, let's keep going. And it's funny because Study to show that oh, I love verse 15. This one's a famous verse right here. Everybody should be able to say this one with me. Study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that needeth not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. And you know what's funny about that? You know what's funny about that? 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 21. That's because he just told us, study to show ourselves approved. What do? Hold on. We go out to the highways and the hedges and we preach to the wind. And we all know that the wind are the lost sheep of the house of Israel, and we're trying to wake them up. Why is it so funny to me about that? Because 1 Corinthians 1 and 21, for after that, in the wisdom of Yahweh, the world by wisdom knew not Yahweh. It pleased Yahweh by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. It's foolishness to him because he knows that he could just wake everybody up if he wanted to. But he's testing our faith, which I think is a great thing. I think it's a great thing because right now we're in the best time ever. All the camps are being sifted. I said that in January, that this is I said, whoa, total and utter destruction to all you false teachers, all you false prophets, all you false camps, and you wicked Jakes and you wicked Eves. Whoa, total and utter destruction. I'll show you the video. You've probably already seen it. And it's happening on a daily basis. Every time IUIC puts something out, it comes back to them just horrible. It's like they're putting out horribleness, it's coming back horrible. The other camps, anytime they do something stupid, it comes right back to them stupid. All of them. Not just IUIC. In fact, I shouldn't go in on IUIC too hard because they do gather a lot of people into the truth. And there are sincere Akiyama Akwath in IUIC, and I pray for them because it's not them that I'm going after. It's the leadership that is corrupt. So when you're in IUIC, you're being taught against the truth because you're with a corrupt leader. And it's been proven. It's like whether you receive it or not, that's on you. But the funny thing is that our teaching you all this stuff is foolishness. The foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. Because he knows whether he's going to save you or not. But anyway, let's go back to Timothy. I just wanted to bring that out. I just thought that was cool. Let's keep going. Let's go to... let's just keep reading. But shun profane and vain babblings, for they will increase unto more ungodliness. So, that is a perfect thing to say because when you change your doctrine, the MOTB is a embargo. No, wait, the MOTB is only talking about other nations. Other nations, they can't buy, sell, or trade. Okay, the MOTB, I don't know who said it was the white woman, I'm not going to lie. But I just thought that was the stupidest thing I ever heard. It's actually funny. The MOTB is sin. The MOTB is America. He that wavereth is like the waves of the ocean being tossed to and fro by any false doctrine. So, this is why I say that they're sincere Akiyama Akwath and IUIC, but let me read it to you again. But shun profane and vain babblings. So if you keep continuously changing what you say, it's like a vain babbling, you're just going off. For they will increase unto more ungodliness. And just think about all the confusion that comes with that. And I probably could have broke that down better with a better example, but that was the one the Most High put on me. So let's keep going. And under the word will eat as doth a canker, of who the Hesiman and Philistius of whom is Thessalian and Philistia, who concerning the truth have erred, saying that the resurrection is past already and over, though through the faith of through the faith of some. So the resurrection, so we're in a new covenant. The resurrection's over. It's past already. Overthrow. Because I don't read that good. And somebody actually said that to me on the most viral video I ever got. Like, got over 7,000 views. But he said, you can't read that good. Head him back, and I was like, you're right. So let me read it again. Who concerning the truth have erred, saying that the resurrection is past already, and overthrow the faith of some. So when you overthrow the faith, this means that you remove their faith. You tell them that there is no more resurrection, it's already done. So all that shit's over with. But it's kind of a lie, isn't it? It's not over with. Because he said, I go for a short time to build you mansions, and then I'm going to come back. I'm going to go build you houses and come back. So, anyway, I should have stopped at verse 16. So I'm going to read 19 and and 20, and then I'm going to cut it there. I've already gone too far. This is 2 Timothy 2:19. Nevertheless, the foundation of Yahweh standeth sure, having this seal: the Yahweh knoweth them that are his. That's why when I went in that verse and told you it was foolishness, he's already picked us, but we go out showing our faith, thinking that we can we're like little, and I don't want to mean it like we think that we're Yahweh, but we're like little Yahwehs trying to go out and wake the people up. We have his spirit on us. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. We're not gods like that, so don't get me wrong. Don't take my words out of context or I'll get really angry. I'm a Gadite. So, the Lord knoweth them that are his, and let everyone that nameth the name of Yahweh Shai depart from iniquity. So anybody that names his name, depart from iniquity. That's why the $100 million camp won't say his name. Woo! Because they will not depart from iniquity. But in a great house there are not only vessels of gold and silver, but also of wood and of earth, and some to honor and some to dishonor. The Most High is doing all of this. So I showed you that the Lord knoweth them that are his. Some to honor, those are his. Some to dishonor. That goes back into my class on wheat and tares. He's going to gather up his children and put them in a safe place. That's the wheat. He's going to take the wicked 2/3 along with the other nations and numero uno, the Edomites, and he's going to bundle them up and he's going to put them in a fire and burn them. So anyways, the whole point of this is we literally have to just get through these last hours. There's literally seconds left in this place. Just this last little bit, and it literally it feels like there's like just every day I get up looking up at the sky, looking on the YouTube, searching to see if it's going to happen today. That's how close it is. And that's what the point of this is. So thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Yahushua HaMashiach. Okay? And the things that thou hast heard among many witnesses. The truth is coming out. The truth is coming out. If you can receive it, if you have spiritual eyes to see and spiritual ears to hear, you can receive it. And I'm going to go ahead and get Revelation 22 and 14. 12. 22 and 12. 14 is good too. Let me get that one too. Let me get 12 and then I'll get 14. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according to his work shall be. Whatever you're doing in this world, you better hope it's according to Scripture. Because when I skip to 14, it's going to explain. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have the right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. So you got to be praying that you're doing the works of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. I got to read one more, because if you're not, you're considered. For without are dogs, sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. So whoever is a liar out there against this truth, you are doomed. And like I said, if you have eyes to see and ears to hear, hear this. Double honors to all of the elder apostles, the prophets, and the teachers that are bringing out the 100% truth. Shalom. Also, Kahalala Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shabbat Hashem, Rakwa Kadash, to Ra. Now we can call it.